Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors Draymond Green fires powerful message for 2024 NBA Draft hopefuls. There are a lot of lives that are about to change in the 2024 NBA Draft. Whether the top pick is Alex Sarr or Zachary Rizicher, all of them will get big opportunities that 99% of the human population can only dream of. Understandably, hopes have never been higher for these guys, and the anxiety must be insane. But, Golden State Warriors legend Draymond Green and Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul had a reminder to all of these young aspirants. Draymond Green knows exactly what it feels like to be in the NBA draft. He also experienced these tough nerves straight out of Michigan State before the commissioner called his name as the Warriors picked him up. Little did he know at that time, a dynasty was about to commence because of him. This lack of foresight will get to a lot of guys who are waiting to be called. So, he affirmed a message that Rich Paul tweeted out. Facts. It doesn't matter at all. There's also a guy's name that won't be called tonight that's going to make $300+ million. Green said. What did the Clutch CEO declare to make the Warriors great agree this much? Well, Rich Paul has been here before, but as an agent. He still has some guys in the 2024 NBA draft who are waiting to get their names called. This made him write an open statement to calm them down before those bells behind Adam Silver started ringing. Draft Day. There is no negative on draft day for the class. There is no such thing as a slip, the lottery means nothing. Opportunity is the focus. There will be 58 names called and 58 names forgotten. What will you do with your opportunity? #NBA Draft, #BeClutch, Paul proclaimed. Hopefully, the message does its job in calming his clients. Steve Kerr clearly needs to revamp the roster due to how they collapsed in the latter half of the season. One of the best ways to do it is through the NBA draft. After all, their player development program is one of the best in the association already. They have molded Green, Klay Thompson, and Stephen Curry into the stars that they are now. That mission has also not ended because Tracy Jackson-Davis and Brandon Podziemski have been phenomenal when given the right minutes. The Warriors are not picking until the second day of the NBA draft. They traded their 2024 first-rounder to the Memphis Grizzlies when they had to let go of Andre Iguodala back in 2019. Somehow, that same pick will be used by the Portland Trail Blazers to notch a high-level talent at 14th in this draft. This leaves the Warriors with their only pick, which comes 52nd in this class. Mock drafts are expecting them to choose Antonio Reeves out of Kentucky because he clearly has the shooting prowess to thrive under Kerr's guidance. If not, maybe they can use this pick for an NBA draft day trade, which puts them in contention to acquire someone like Paul George or Kevin Durant. There is a new betting favorite to land, Klay Thompson. One prominent team in the Western Conference that seems to have been mentioned more than most over the last few weeks in terms of making a potential blockbuster deal this summer, while also losing one or more of its key players, is the Golden State Warriors. Along with possibly targeting superstar forward Paul George this summer to play alongside star Stephen Curry and Draymond Green in San Francisco, the Warriors seem to be on the verge of losing veteran sharpshooter Klay Thompson in NBA free agency. The Warriors and Thompson have been in contract talks for quite some time, and it seems as though there hasn't been any traction on getting a deal done, with Golden State likely not being willing to match his price, especially with the four-time NBA champion expected to get lucrative long-term offers on the open market. Apparently, things may have taken a turn for the worse if the Warriors genuinely want to re-sign Thompson, as the odds have shifted in favor of the Orlando Magic landing him as a free agent, according to Bovada via NBA Central. Although the Magic are in the running, and Thompson's addition would be a potential game-changer for the young team, the Warriors have such a good relationship with the veteran guard that a deal could eventually be done before he hits the open market. However, all signs point to him leaving, which means the Warriors and Magic could look a lot different next season and for the foreseeable future. Warriors trade pitch adds $94 million, modern Steve Kerr favorite. Unless there are injuries or other dropouts, it is a long shot that the Warriors' Steve Kerr will coach forward Cameron Johnson again this summer, after he'd done so during the 2023 World Cup a summer ago. The 2024 Olympic entry for the Paris Games will feature NBA A-listers. But Kerr did have high praise for Johnson, as well as former Suns and Nets teammate Mikal Bridges, from his time together with them, praise that could ring a bit louder now that Bridges has been traded out of Brooklyn in a mega deal with the Nets, and Johnson could be soon to follow. Kerr said of the duo last August, "I already knew what kind of players they were from coaching against them, but they're so mature, there's a calming sense from both guys. And they're also modern-day basketball players, shoot the three, guard multiple positions, long athletically. They're huge components to this team." If we know nothing else about Kerr, we do know he likes modern-day basketball players and, indeed, has helped mold just how we view such players. With the Dubs seeking trade upgrades this offseason, a look at Johnson might just make sense for Golden State. The big question would be how much it would take for the Nets to part with Johnson. If a deal can be made for a salary match and a first-round pick, the Warriors would have to be interested. After all, Johnson has a career three-point shooting rate of 39.2%. He was at 39.1% this year and peaked at 42.5% from the arc in his third season, when he was playing for the Suns. After that season, Phoenix gave Johnson a 4-year, $94.5 million contract extension. He has never taken a big leap forward offensively, but he averages 11.7 points for his career and scored 13.4 points per game last year. He struggled to stay healthy, though, and has played only 110 games in the past 2 seasons, moving to the bench in the last part of this season. That should make one first-round pick enough to pluck Johnson from the Nets. "I can't see them getting 2 first-rounders for Johnson," one NBA executive told Heavy Sports. "I can see them asking for 2 first-rounders, but not getting them. He is a good player, he is a stretch 4, and those are hard to find. Not real big, 6'8", but he is a good defender, can switch a lot, and really, a good third option who can stretch the floor for you. That is the ideal role player for a lot of teams. There is going to be a market for him." The Warriors would have some options as far as acquiring Johnson. They could deal away Chris Paul for him, though doing so would be a bit of a below-the-belt move for a team that wants to either bring back Paul, grant him free agency by not guaranteeing his contract, or send him to a team for which he wants to play. They could make a deal with the understanding that the Nets would waive Paul thereafter. The Warriors could include Moses Moody as a trade chip, perhaps adding more protection to its first-rounder in, say, 2026. In that scenario, the Warriors would also have to unload Kevin Looney and Gary Payton too to make the salaries match. Losing Moody might be difficult, but if the Warriors have a sense that they could bring back Klay Thompson, then trading Moody for a player who fits better positionally would be worthwhile. Kerr has eyes for Johnson, as do several coaches and GMs around the NBA. It's entirely possible the Warriors could make a play for him. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Cameron Johnson? Leave your opinion in the comments.